Welcome to Derm Dumber, a podcast about all things dermatology, skincare, and whatever else catches our attention. We're a husband and wife. One of us is a dermatologist.
And one is not.
Oh, and by the way, this is a podcast, not a medical appointment. It is for entertainment and general informational purposes only, and should not be considered medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All right, you're listening to a new episode of Derm and Dumber. Let's get into it. We should probably start the same way we started last week, and that's talking about my week with Wordle. No.
Oh my God.
I had a much better week with Wordle this week, including getting it in one day.
That's
in the past 7
such
days.
an achievement.
It's happened twice now for me. I can show my record if anybody wants to see it. It'll actually say 3, but one time was a error. So I don't claim to have gotten Wordle in one guess 3 times.
Okay.
Only twice.
I'm glad you're so honest.
Yeah, that's what makes me a good gamer when it comes to morning word games.
All right.
Anyways, that's about it. That wraps up this week.
Oh yeah, this thing is over.
Yeah.
Well,
That's all people tune in for is my Wordle progress.
yeah.
Anyways.
This whole thing is just evolving into ridiculous middle-aged life.
That's right. Yep. Just a glimpse into how the two of us are handling middle age. Wordle, New York Times word games, and bird stuff, birding apps. Didn't we? Didn't you make fun of us last time?
Oh
about
yeah.
that, or
Well,
did that
I
not
don't know.
come up?
I don't think it came up, but
Yeah.
I want to talk about a really cool experience that I had this week.
That's right.
So
This is why it's been on my mind.
yeah. So let's just start by saying that Benjamin is very into birds.
Oh, come on. That is so untrue.
Okay. I mean, you're not out there with binoculars, I guess,
No.
yet.
But like millions of others, I have that Merlin bird app,
yes.
and I occasionally use it to know what birds are around me doing all that singing.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Okay. And that's about it. And then recently we added a hummingbird feeder to the yard just because whenever we're out there at night, we see lots of hummingbirds. And I was like, let's give them something.
I know, but
And that's it. That's the extent of my birding.
But it's not enough to just have the hummingbird feeder. It's like whenever we're out there, it is like
It's a
constant narration of what is happening in hummingbird land in our yard. Like,
well, it's better than most TV these days.
I mean,
because listen, people, when you put out a hummingbird feeder, you end up with one hummingbird claiming it and becoming a little bully about it. And all the other guys try to come in and have a little drink, but he fights them off.
Yeah.
Or she, I don't know. I don't know
It's
which one's the
impressive.
more territorial one is. I don't know. But I'm just saying.
It's impressive.
It's very entertaining.
But Benjamin needs to narrate every second of where the bully is, where the other guy is trying to come in from.
You're just jealous because you can't see him.
That's true. Usually when I'm outside, we might be in the pool and I don't have my glasses on. So basically I can only see like 3 feet away at most.
The whole world's a blur to you. So I'm narrating for your sake.
Oh, okay.
So start to appreciate it more because I can see him. I know where he's hiding. He's keeping guard. It's hilarious.
I mean, this isn't where I was going to go right now. We're going to put a pin back into this.
We got off track right away, huh?
I want to come back to this, but this is like, so you saying you're narrating it so that I can like visualize it. So I just learned, about this crazy thing. Okay. So Benjamin, when I say like, imagine let's say hummingbird or a shape, like a square, a red square or an apple or a horse, whatever. And you close your eyes and you imagine that.
Right.
Do you see that object? What do you see?
I see what you're telling me to imagine.
Like
in my mind's eye.
Yeah.
Yes. With my eyes closed, you say a word, I picture it.
So you think that is what's happening to me when you're telling me all this hummingbird jazz. I mean, obviously I'm not closing my eyes when we're like out there, whatever. But apparently it's a thing where some people don't see the object when they close their eyes. And I don't see the object when I close my eyes.
So you can't imagine things. When told to close your eyes or picture something, your mind is just blank. You're just in the dark.
It's
wondering
well, it's more that like I know what it should look like, but like I don't visualize the thing.
What is this phenomenon called?
So this phenomenon is called aphantasia.
Okay.
And it only apparently happens in like up to 4% of the population. So, I mean, at least what we know about it is pretty rare. Yeah, but like this came up in this physicians group I'm in. And it was interesting because by far the majority of the people in this group were like me. So I don't know if it's like some kind of like sampling error. Like this is a thing that like, because it kind of makes sense. Like, I guess people who have this like think more in like, facts, like versus like the creative part of it.
Sure.
Right. Like it's more like you can recall facts, how something should look.
Right.
And like create that in your head.
Okay.
But it's not like a picture.
Right. So those people with this, I don't know to call it condition or with this phenomenon who have this feature, they tend to gravitate towards more maybe scientific, mathematical.
I don't think there's any evidence
No.
of
Yeah,
that.
I'm not saying it's a real study, but that's something we could draw from this
we noticed,
small group sample.
Well, this was like 300 people commenting on this in this group I'm in, and it was like the majority in this group felt the same way. So I just thought it was really interesting, and I definitely feel like it's true because, people who tend to do this, like they don't necessarily like to read descriptions. And I remember like, this is like super nerd alert, but you wanted me to read like this Hobbit book or whatever, something we first like started dating or something, one of the Hobbit books.
Oh, one of the Lord of the Rings books?
Yeah.
Like years? 26 years ago or whatever.
And I mean, it's like 98% of that book is descriptions.
It's rough.
And like, maybe even that's hard for somebody else who doesn't have that. But like, I would just like be like, oh my God, skim. And I guess that's like a characteristic. It's just like, you can't really imagine that as well.
So you just gloss over that section to get to the dialogue. Yeah. And to be clear, I remember what you're talking about. We were on vacation and this was like an extended, like 2-week vacation. I remember. And you had wrapped up your books that you just went through them all, the ones that you took on vacation, and you were like...
my trashy books.
And so I was just like, well, here, I finished this one, and one of them was the Lord of the Rings books, and I was like, here, just read this.
Yeah.
I did not come to you like, you have to read this.
I
know you would not appreciate a book like that.
Yeah. But anyway,
I applaud you for going through it.
I mean, I read some of it, I guess, glossing over those descriptions, and then the other thing is that it affects people's like memory. So, or their ability potentially to remember things. So like, I definitely feel like I have a terrible memory, and part of it is probably because I just can't, I don't see those things as vividly, right? Like it doesn't make as big of an impression on you.
Huh.
So it's interesting. It's not, so they've done studies where they do like MRIs of people where they have them, do that little exercise where they look. And, I would still see, so in people like myself, you would still see like the visual part of your brain cortex light up when you're told to like think about these things. But it's just like there's not the connection of your like consciousness being able to like appreciate it somehow. So it's like, the machinery, that part works, but the more part that we don't necessarily understand about elevating something to consciousness seems to be like maybe the difference.
That's fascinating. So misunderstood, the brain.
I know. And so your stories about the hummingbird
telling you what he's doing, you're just glossing over and letting those words go in one ear and out the other. But you do that when I talk.
That's true.
No matter what the subject.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's go back to...
well, here, let's do a little exercise.
Oh, no.
For the people. All right. Try this for yourselves if you're listening. Close your eyes for a second. Now, picture a red apple.
Okay.
There you go, people. What happened? Did you see an apple? I know I did.
I did not.
All right. Well, there you go.
I see a description of what an apple should look like, how it's curved at the top, how it might be like dimpled at the bottom, how there's a stem, how it's probably red, but I don't really see the apple. So anyway.
Yeah, no, I can picture an apple just like I would if I was looking at it on a page in a book.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of jealous. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, it's totally weird to me that you couldn't.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, people. Look up aphantasia.
Yeah.
And find out, maybe you have it if you just right now could not picture an apple with your closed eyes.
Okay.
All right.
I want to move on to how we got down this bird path. So.
Oh, right.
So I was doing a procedure on a patient and her phone kept going off, whatever. So we wrap up doing the procedure and she grabs her phone out of her bag and she's like quickly glancing. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's just, I keep getting these bird fi notifications. And I'm like looking at her like, what? And she like flashes me the screen and it looks like, a home video of a cardinal on her screen. And I'm like, okay, what is that? And she's like, oh my gosh, I have these cameras set up and I'm able to, see what birds are coming and you get these little clips and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, you're like fully into bird life. It's like, this person wasn't even 50. And I was like, so giving her a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
But I was super excited for the conversation because I got to say, because earlier that morning, Benjamin had made my ears bleed with whatever topic he was talking about, which ultimately ended up to talking about how there was this amazing, huge update in the Merlin app. So somehow, even though he thinks I'm not hearing, some of these little things are like getting filtered in there. So I'm talking to this woman and I'm like, oh my God, did you hear about the huge Merlin app update? And it was just a hilarious interaction because she was like really thinking I was into, I was into birding. And she didn't even know what the Merlin app was. So then we got to have this whole conversation about that. And so anyway.
Good job. You really know how to connect with your patients.
I really do know how to connect with patients. And it made her think that I was like this crazy birding person, which I continue to
even
say
though
I am not.
The whole time you were talking to her about it, your aphantasia inner eye was rolling.
Exactly. But I could see the video. So I can definitely picture that video because I saw a picture of it.
Oh, good job.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so BirdFi.
BirdFi.
Give us a sponsor if you want.
Yeah, you told me about it.
I know, I had to share
what it
is
basically it's just a bird feeder with a camera, right? Yeah. And there's millions of those out there now. I think. So.
But this seemed very high tech. It looked nice.
Yeah. No, you told me about it.
Anyway, and so the Merlin app, that like identifies sounds. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got to move on from this bird topic.
Yeah, seriously, nobody's tuning in for birds.
I don't know, man.
With bird talk.
So also this week, I took my 10th Pilates class.
Ooh, not ever. Well, is that newsworthy? But go ahead. Why are we talking about that? I mean, you've done Pilates on and off for a couple years.
Yeah,
but you've been in mostly an off period right now.
Well, I think
you're back into it.
Yeah, it goes along with like, being 50, we're doing all these things to like see where we are. And that is what I decided to do to try to
offset the decline.
Yes. Offset the decline. So, I've always loved yoga, but like, I feel like it's not, I don't have unlimited time to just be doing things. So I was like, okay, I need something that incorporates a little more activity and, a little more strength training, whatever. So I decided to like fully delve into Pilates. Anyway, what I've noticed is that like, it's kind of hard to get into these classes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta like...
We have like 3 Pilates studios right up here around us.
And everyone is freaking packed.
Right.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
So...
You're not alone in turning old.
Yeah, I'm not.
Wanting to get fit.
I guess not. Well, apparently, someone has figured out using AI how to hack into these systems and like get themselves off the waiting list into the class.
Yeah. Did they explain how to do it or they just said AI is helping?
No.
Good luck.
Apparently, this guy was just decided he was going to try to use AI to like schedule that, like he would just say where he was and what he wanted to do, and the AI would schedule him in these classes. But then he was like, okay, well, I'm on the wait list and all these things. So, is there a way to get me bumped up? And it just basically knocked people off until he got into the class. So
wow,
kind
good for
of
him.
Kind of a little
But also
jealous, but a little bit scared.
Yeah, because it's just going to be, once everybody figures it out,
I know.
AI's just going to be fighting and knocking everybody off in order until the class starts, and then you got to show up and hope you're the one on the list when they close the.
Yeah, what happens?
When they
You're
start
in there
the
like
class,
banging on the door, like
right.
It's my
Yeah, my phone says I'm in. Yep, sorry, you got knocked off at 4 milliseconds before the class started.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway.
Well, all right.
Pilates. You used to do Pilates really regularly.
I did. I liked
COVID
it.
times.
Yep. And then COVID times hit and the studios closed for a while, and I just started working out at home and was like, wait, this is cheaper.
Yeah, I need to be forced to go somewhere.
No, I get it. That was why I did it is, if you're good about it and you sign up and you pay a subscription or a monthly fee, I mean, yeah, you better get money's worth out of it.
Yeah.
So.
And we also recently did these like body scans. And
oh, that's right. One of those is in the office now.
Yeah. Where it just, kind of takes your measurements, compares you. I don't know the science behind it. But
yes, you stand on a little disc. You stand
on it. It weighs you. It calculates your BMI, your visceral fat.
Spins you around, and the camera takes a picture of every angle and makes a little image of you, which is not flattering oftentimes.
Right. And then kind of compares you to other people in your age group.
Fortunately, it compares us to other Americans, we think.
Yeah. I got a really good score. And
me too, actually.
Benjamin did too. And we're thin, but very little muscle. So anyway, that's what we're working on. So yes, that's what the device confirmed for me, that I have no muscle in my extremities. And so that's what I'm hoping to do with Pilates and be able to kind of monitor that progress.
Well, there was that study a while ago that said that the human lifespan has two, significant points in their life where health declines are the biggest or the easiest to see.
Right.
What were they again? What were the ages? The 30 and 60 or 65 or
yeah, I think it was
35
30,
and 60.
Something in the 30s and something around 60.
Yeah. But basically your health.
Well, yeah,
there's
takes a huge
decline.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then there's this push after that to just be get as fit as you can so that once the decline hits, you're starting from a much higher point.
Exactly.
And that's, yeah. But I mean, that's, again, I think everybody kind of knew that. And that's the point of diet and exercise.
Yeah.
Is to just be at your best so that when the decline comes, you start at a much higher point.
Right.
Yeah. It's not breaking news. But it was neat to see that they actually put, a time to look for.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. And I just think it's motivating to see.
Yeah. Same with this scan.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. So also in things that middle-aged women are into, rush talk.
Oh, yes. You teased this at the end of the last episode. And I was disappointed to learn that rush talk is not about the Canadian triumvirate rush.
Correct. It is not.
Okay. It's about Greek life on college campuses.
Correct.
Particularly sororities.
Correct.
Right? Fraternities don't enter into this.
Yeah, I don't really see.
Is there a thing about?
No.
Because you were into Greek life. You were a sorority girl in college.
I was.
I was not a fraternity guy.
No.
So.
We went to the same college, but.
We didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other, and it would not have worked out if we had.
Nope.
Two different experiences there, I think.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, so.
Worked out eventually.
Yeah, so rush talk is not new. I mean, I guess past 3-4 years maybe. And I think it probably peaked more last year, but it's definitely still something that people are tuning in for.
And rush talk is
TikTok about
it's
rush.
Not TALK.
Yeah, talk. TOK.
Because I thought it was talk.
TikTok.
You're talking about. And rush is the beginning part of the semester.
Yes.
Or is that where people are trying to get into sororities, or people have already gotten in and it's the first week of?
No, they're trying to get in. Rush is when you're trying to get in.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're starting at the real beginning here.
Yeah. No, Greek life was foreign to me in college.
Yeah. So rush is and you go, I mean, at least for me back in the day, you register that you're going to do rush. And then it's a week of activities where kind of like you go and visit houses, you talk to the girls. They have these things called parties that you go to. And it's basically like you're chatting with people, meeting people in there. And then
tryouts.
Getting to know Benjamin.
There's interview process.
Yeah. And then
you have to show your bank account and your family crest and your history of...
That's definitely more like how it is now from what I gather, but not so much back then. But anyway, after a day or two, they kind of match you and, rank the people that have come to see them, and you rank the houses, and then cuts are made, and then there's fewer of you that go to proceed along the process. So it's an interesting thing. And it's kind of like, match for physicians, residency match. It's like you're grading them, they're grading you. It's the same type of system, right?
Yeah. Like a job interview too.
Yeah. But now this is like, when I did it, it was like, okay, every night, people would, we'd get together in the basement and we'd like
just see if you
hash out shit about people, if we knew people or whatever. And, you took into account references and, if someone had family in the chapter, whatever. But now it is like so much more detailed. They have like girls that they call basement girls that they don't participate in the activities of like the parties or interacting with the rushies, but they're just in the basement, like chugging through data, looking at their Instagrams, figuring out who they are, who their families are, like a whole dossier of these people.
They got the IT department down there?
Yeah, it's like the CIA down there.
Jeez.
Yeah. So anyway, I find all that like super interesting. And then, of course, there's like the forward-facing part to the people going through Rush now, which like for us, these parties would be like really, you would decorate the house and it would be like you'd have a little theme for the day and you'd do a little skit. The one I primarily remember is like we did like a Wizard of Oz skit and like there were a couple little songs or like whatever.
Wow.
But now, like there are these whole productions that, they do in front of the house. And like this is actually part of the beginning of Rush now, where before kids even get to the campus, they have to submit interviews and information. And like they do like initial weeding out before that. So you kind of look their video, they see your video, and that's sort of how the process even starts. So now these videos are like so elaborate with like these dance choreographers, and
they're hiring production companies to like fully...
Yeah. And there's all these brand activations. And this is what I found so interesting this year that was new to me, was that all these brands kind of sponsoring and participating
of course.
In, because they're getting the eyes of these kids who are watching this content. So
there's money to be made, it turns out. All right.
Yeah. So there's this big brand, Park. They are a clothing brand, like kind of athleisure, very popular in this age. And so they sponsored one of the sororities, I think, at Arkansas. And then...
So is it just they'll sponsor just that college's chapter of that sorority, or like all of them? Because that's...
Well, yeah.
There can be different sororities, or there can be the same sorority at every college.
Yeah, but these brands, they want to get in front of the schools that are big. So like right now, the South is just like insane because...
no question, it's the biggest in the Southeast conference.
Yeah. So like Arkansas, Bama, Ole Miss, these are where the brands want to get in front of. Right. And then...
all those Southern belles.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because Rush is like very different there compared to like, then you'll see people talking about Rush at like smaller schools in the Northeast or like at ASU, which, is a huge, allegedly very fun school.
Yes.
But
it did often make the biggest party school lists back in the day when that magazine used to put out.
Yeah. So you'll see these Rush talks from the more southern schools, and it'll be like they're all dolled up and like they're in these like...
Yeah, formal.
Not formal, but like, a little more conservative style type of still revealing, but like more upscale, I guess I want to say. And then like you'll sort of, and this is a stereotype, but you'll sort of see like, ASU and they're like showing a little more skin. But then like you have to remember they're also doing this jazz out in like 120-degree temps.
That's true.
So
the Rush season does take place during like the hottest time of year. So
that's
fair.
But the biggest brand activation that I think is really cool is CeraVe.
The skincare?
Yeah.
The skincare company?
So in a move to try to educate this age about sun protection, they partnered with a sorority in Florida, one of the Florida colleges, to make this whole patio with like shade and I'm sure some of their branding. But anyway, there's a series that they're releasing about how they did this with somebody, and I can't remember his name, who's like popular in the whole like home improvement world or like, decor world or whatever. And it's like one of the dermatologists that's involved in the project, and just like all these short, social media content about how they're making this amazing sun protective area. So I don't know. I could see your eyes are totally glazed over.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fascinating.
It's such a big business though. Like,
is it as big as birding? Birding.
It's probably bigger than birding.
Bird feeder cameras.
I mean, people pay like thousands of dollars to get their daughters coached for Rush now.
That's ridiculous.
And yeah, I mean, it's so interesting to me. And then like the design and the opulence of like their rooms and the houses, like.
Man, it's a different world than when we were in college.
It's a different world. I mean, we had a nice house, but it wasn't like
not
this
like
level.
These.
Yeah. So crazy times. So there's all these people spending money on that kind of stuff. I also learned there's people spending money on like gap year consultants. So like if your kid isn't ready to go to college and they want to do like a gap year, you can actually have a consultant that you pay, like some of these people charging like tens of thousands of dollars to help organize your recent graduate's life to like optimize experiences. And
so that when they do go back to college, they can explain why they took a year off.
It's just like or
this was just like, hey, some guy in the industry came up because they noticed people have a bunch of money they don't know what to do with.
Yeah, I feel like it is more that like a parent doesn't like this person wants to do a gap year and let's like kind of optimize the experiences, and sure, maybe it helps you get into college when you talk about that. But maybe it's more too just like a travel, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Travel advisor. That like just helps guide them. Anyway, I just think it's insane. Like the stark contrasts between, people who are obviously spending tons of money on these things versus there's obviously people out there in the world struggling. Should we move on to something sciencey?
Yeah, let's move on to something a little bit more sciencey and doctory and dermatology-y. Just because we have to, because this was big this week.
Yeah.
But there is an mRNA vaccine for cancer, but a very specific kind of cancer that is important to your line of work, right? Is that right?
Yes, okay. Exactly.
Go for it.
Tell us melanoma.
How does this melanoma mRNA vaccine work? What's the big deal? Why are we excited about this?
Well, we're excited about this because this was a phase 3 trial, meaning it's like the type of trial that happens, the data that's needed. If it meets the endpoints of that study, an application can be submitted for new drug approval. So it means like we're very close to getting this approved. Mm-hmm. So basically this was done in patients who had aggressive stage 2 melanoma, as well as stage 3 and stage 4. They had excision of their melanoma, which is going to be like standard. And then they had standard immunotherapy with a drug called Keytruda. So that's just the basic standard of care you would do in these cases of these stages of melanoma. So this was done in a little over 1,000 people, and they all got that. Half of them then also got an mRNA vaccine that was created with their tumor. So specific to their actual tumor antigens. So tumors will make these antigens that sit on the surface, and that is what they're targeting. So basically in this study, half of, let me be sure that I say this right, cut recurrence risk in half versus immunotherapy alone. And significantly reduce the risk of metastases. All the numbers have not been released. They're coming out in October, but this is just like the early information coming out about this study. But that's pretty impressive. But we'll have more information about the details of this in the future.
Right.
Exactly the numbers and such.
Okay.
But an amazing...
Yeah, I was going to say the information so far, it was promising enough that they were just like, yeah, talk about how great it is already.
Right, exactly.
Without having the full thing, we know it's going to be good.
Right.
So, yeah, that's good stuff.
And so mRNA, this is what like the COVID vaccine was. But basically what's done in this is it is not a drug that like it's different for everyone, right? So again, it's a personalized vaccine that you're given based on your tumor. So they extract these markers from your tumor. They create a vaccine to deliver to you, and basically your cells then make these antigens, and it's a way to have your immune system see those so that they can fight them.
Yeah. Because prior to that, they didn't know it was a problem to fight.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. No, because mRNA technology, that's what it was being worked on before, was as a cancer treatment.
Right.
But then COVID hit, they pivoted to, because you can make mRNA vaccines so much more quickly than you can traditional vaccines, right? That's my understanding.
Yes. These can be made in like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Is what they were describing.
So now now they're going back to further, mRNA research on the cancer like they intended. And this is one of the most promising things. That's cool.
Yeah.
And to personalize it is even better.
Yeah. And I think it's, it's important to understand that, like, then you might be thinking, well, like, why doesn't your immune system just fight these cells then, right? I mean, if the tumor cells are there already in your body, why don't they just fight them? I mean, I think that's a logical next question that someone might think. But the thing is that tumor cells are like really good at hiding from your immune system. So they express different markers that
confuse.
They don't, they like block your immune system signals, pathways that might lead to that cell to die. So this is really cool. It's a way to circumvent that. And so we've talked before about our dog getting a tumor vaccine and
for her little
a personalized,
sarcoma. Her leg sarcoma.
And so the same thing. It's just, in pets, I think, I don't know that there's not as rigorous of,
they're just like,
requirements and such. But yes, so there are trials I know going on in like small cell lung cancer, pancreatic cancer.
The big one.
I mean, this is probably the future. It makes so much sense. With being able to target, cancer like this. So super cool.
Yeah. Let's hope they continue to fund the NHS and nah, we won't get political.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Yeah. So keep an eye on this in the cancer research realm, and hopefully this thing gets approved really soon. Like 8,000 people or so die per year of melanoma. So much larger numbers than those other cancers.
Other cancer types are even more devastating. So, all right. Well, yeah. Good news. Good news on that front. There was something else in the news this week.
Oh my gosh, I feel like there was so much in the news.
I know. We may not even be able to get it all.
Week. So last week we talked a little bit about the social media backlash with, oh gosh, I can't remember her name now, Tate. Is that, no.
Oh, yeah.
Is that her last name? Oh gosh.
Her first, that was one of her names. Yeah, the one
Tate
who
McRae.
did. Okay.
Is that right?
The one who used the Neutrogena product in a video.
Wipes.
Where
she didn't actually touch her face.
Didn't actually use it.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
So brought some like lighthearted publicity to Neutrogena, with their response and such. But now, unfortunately, Neutrogena is experiencing some negative PR. It's amazing how quickly these things can change.
Yeah.
With Hayden, I don't know how you say her last name.
Panettiere? Yeah, that actress.
Yeah, she's a I guess been an actress for a long time, started out as a child actress. I don't really know any of the things. I mean, I looked into the things she's been on, but I didn't really know.
There was that popular show back in, I don't even know what year, years and years ago, called Heroes.
Yeah.
And it was like superheroes.
I didn't watch it, but I saw that as a credit of hers.
Yeah. That was where I think she got her start.
Okay.
I don't know. That's where I learned.
Okay.
About her as an actor.
Well, apparently, so she recently committed suicide, and apparently...
Well, we don't know if she recently died. Was it intentional? I know didn't they say there were drugs? There was a cardiac arrest from overdose or something.
Yeah, okay. I guess we don't know, if
it
it's
was
100% intentional. You're right. Maybe I dreamed that part up. But anyway, she's dead from an overdose.
Yeah.
And...
with a sad... history of
a sad backstory
and abuse and
so many child kind of actors, or even just actors in general, struggle with depression and anxiety and all this stuff. And I guess at times she was pretty vocal about this.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason Neutrogena comes into this is, I guess a couple of months ago, she was on this podcast, and it came up as she was talking that she'd been on the Kelly Ripa's talk show, and I guess it came up, this was in 2015 or something, that she had been working with Neutrogena. And actually, the Neutrogena part didn't come up. She was in this discussion with them, and her postpartum depression came up. She talked about it bluntly, I guess, in this interview.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whatever, that happened. She was talking about this on the podcast more recently and saying, that happened. And then Neutrogena, who she'd worked with as a brand ambassador for 10 years before, they wanted to use the morality clause in her contract to terminate her, for talking about this in when this went on in the past. And so I guess her representatives ended up fighting it, and she stayed on to complete her contract with Neutrogena, but they didn't renew it. So anyway, she was going on about this on a recent podcast, and then very quickly after that is when this happened.
Right.
And so then people just kind of knew from this podcast all this that had gone on with Neutrogena, and so now there's this huge backlash against Neutrogena.
Yeah.
And, it is really big. I know, they have stopped active campaigns as they try to, deal with this.
Yeah. Backlash. Yeah.
Yeah. And, they did come out and, make this statement, which seemed a little...
Mm-hmm. Too little, too late?
Too little, too late about, feeling bad that she felt like she was not supported in that time or whatever. So, anyway, they've got a little storm that they're dealing with. And I think this is huge right now because people are also really invested in this whole Lindsay Clancy trial, which also centers around postpartum depression. And that is going on at the same time. So I think everyone is just very...
Oh, yeah. Everybody's pausing.
Sensitive about all this going on.
Right.
So...
Jeez. Yeah. That was in the news this week. I did see that.
Apparently, even our son knows about the Lindsay Clancy trial.
Yeah. Social media, it's everywhere. Yeah. I just learned about it this week, too.
Yeah. I'm not an expert on the trial because I haven't, listened to all of it, but definitely there's a lot of sides to it. I think what the Hayden's situation and the Lindsay Clancy trial, hopefully just the outcome is that people know more about postpartum depression. And
yes, it is a thing, and people probably write it off like a lot of mental problems in this country.
Right. Yeah. I know that, I definitely did not have postpartum depression, but I definitely maybe had what people call baby blues, it's just
the mild form of it.
Right. You're just tired and anxious, and am I doing this right? And just all the
thoughts.
All these thoughts. Is my kid going to be okay? He can't hold his neck up. Is he laid back enough? I just remember obsessing about that, and it's just, it messes with you. Yeah. Sleep deprivation.
Oh yeah. It's a horrible storm of things.
and then not even to mention, like your hormones are changing. It's a real shitstorm in there, in that brain.
Right.
Let me just say that. So anyway.
All right. Well, so we are nearing.
Do we have time for a question?
Yeah, definitely. Let me see. We had one good question that really, you said you wanted to address. This one came from TikTok or Instagram, maybe?
TikTok.
Okay. And this person says that, excuse me, let me clear my throat. My 11, almost 12-year-old daughter is on the oily side and having hormonal breakouts. What's better, foam or gel cleansers? She dislikes how much more oily her sunscreen seems to make her face. So what would you recommend for a girl or just a kid with that type of skin and that type of situation?
Yeah, so I think there's kind of two questions here. One about the cleanser. This was a video that I made about foam and gel cleansers. And
oh, you recently made a video on this topic?
It was a while back, but about how to select a cleanser for your child. And so there was that issue. And then there's also the sunscreen issue that she's struggling with. So the video was basically talking about, how to choose the right sunscreen. So if your kid had more like sensitive skin, what you should choose. If they had oily skin. And in this video, I said, like, if your kid has more oily skin, choose a foam or a gel cleanser. So really to like choose between the two, they're kind of similar in terms of being good for more oily, acne-prone skin. It's just, I think, a little bit different, the experience, whether they want, they like the foam, feel like that goes on well, or a gel. Personally, I don't really like foams. I feel like, I don't know, the user experience is that I just don't like them. I find it like weird to spread them on my face or whatever. So I would always choose a gel in this situation, but whatever works. But in terms of like oily skin, I think either one of those is a good choice. She's definitely probably not going to like a creamy, cleanser. She's going to want something that lathers a little bit. Versus being like a strictly hydrating cream type cleanser. So I think it's just a little trial and error.
All right.
In terms of the sunscreen, when you have oily skin, it can be tough. I would look for, there's sunscreens that say that they mattify, so they help to like control oil. So that could be a good start. She may like some of the more K-beauty focused sunscreens or serum sunscreens because they're going to be lighter. So that might feel better on her more oily skin. Elta MD just released a new sunscreen that I love. It's their UV clear, blemish prone and oil balancing sunscreen. So it's that oil balancing that kind of tells you it's going to be mattifying and toning down the oil. So I think that's been like a really amazing product for a lot of my acne patients.
All right. Well, there you go. That's some good information.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Keep the questions coming.
Yeah. If you've got a kid with similar skin, try that.
Yeah.
Buy one of each. See which one your kid uses or prefers, and just continue with that one because they're both going to do the same thing, and it just becomes a matter of preference. Is that kind of what you were saying?
Kind of what I'm saying, yes.
And then, yes, you have the sunscreen option there too. So, but hey, glad you're wearing sunscreen at least, right?
Yeah, exactly. Kudos to that. And remember, if you're acne prone, sunscreen is important.
Right. Even if it makes you feel greasier.
Treating the acne. So you just have to find one that works for your skin.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, it's really hard to take this podcast seriously when I have to do it with you wearing that tank top.
What? I'm going to work out after this. I was putting it on just to save time. I'm not a tank top guy, but at least I'm going to work out. I want to have one on. Man, that came out of nowhere. Shots. Are we just going to discuss each other's appearance right now as we record this early in the morning before we're really ready for the day?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, I
look good.
I can address what I'm looking at here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a good thing we don't film, I guess.
Well, I know. Gosh. People, let us know if you think we should film. I feel like we should, but...
Yeah, that's going to require a little bit more. We're going to have to get studio lighting, and you're going to need to spend some time in the bathroom before you get on camera.
Wow. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Should I describe what I'm looking at? No, I won't. No, I won't. I'm the better person.
Oh, the
What?
tank top. It's too much. You're too pale, which is fine.
Oh.
But like you're like a white noodle arm. Like,
you don't like the gun show?
That is the
Come
weakest
on.
gun show, or maybe it's just the way that I mean, it's so many things. It's just the fact that I know you're not a gym dude and you're wearing this. It's just it hurts.
It's because it's 115 degrees.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. All right. Didn't know we were going to end on that. I might. You know what? I'm going to leave it in. I'm the bigger person because I edit this. I could just cut that out.
All right. We'll see what you do, man.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it in. I don't care. All right, people. We're out before we go further off the rails and just...
yeah, today was crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening. And I suspect that's the best podcast we've ever done. See you next time.
Thanks for listening. We promise to get better at this. Whether we actually do depends largely on your willingness to like, subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with your coolest friends. Just kidding. We will take anyone. Cool, uncool, moisturized, unmoisturized. Stay tuned for more skincare talk with a hint of sarcasm.